Mary Murray is in here right now with Munson Williams Proctor Arts Institute. And Mary, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
You braved the weather.
Yes.
Is it slick out there?
I put my cape on.
You did.
My Captain Curator cape on. And
always
I got here.
Always important to be. Is it still snowing out here?
No, it's it's at that unfortunate point of 32 degrees and precipitation, so it's a little bit icy rain.
Misty. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's also Chief Brooks coming up in just a minute, and he is in the news this morning. So if you could, Mary, tell me, Munson Williams taking a look back at time.
That's right. The organization owns 300 antique watches that were collected by Thomas and Frederick Proctor, two of our founders at Munson Williams Proctor Arts Institute. And this collection, 80 of the 300 are on view right now until the end of April. And they are stunning, if I say it myself. And it's remarkable because this body of watches are still contained as a collection. They represent something that a wealthy gentleman would have collected 100 years ago or so. And typically this kind of collection gets dispersed and sold. So we're very fortunate. It represents a real slice of time, no pun intended.
No pun intended. Yeah.
Right.
So where are these watches? Are these watches all made here? These watches come from overseas?
Primarily from Europe. I believe the center of watchmaking in Europe was Geneva. So the training often started there, but then the watchmakers would travel to different cities to establish their own businesses. These watches date from probably the 1600s to the early 20th century.
Wow. Some
of them are red gold, platinum, they have enamel. Wow. Some of them are form watches, so you wouldn't even know that it is a watch if you wore it as jewelry, as a chain. All of them represent status. They were all created as status jewelry objects and demonstrated the good taste and wealth of the person who was able to own them.
Do you have a value on this collection?
I don't. Of course, we like to talk about it in terms of, the aesthetic value.
Right. Get it? Okay.
Well, absolutely. And I wanted to, a lot of the more expensive jewelry today is gaudy.
Right.
Any of that here, or is it just subtle? Things?
Well, I would say it varies. It depends on the era. Some of them might be considered gaudy by some taste, but frankly, I think they're all quite beautiful. Some of them have colorful enamel design. Many of them have jewels in them, so they're dazzling. Some of them are what we call repoussé or hammered gold, so they don't have any extra elements, only the almost sculpted gold for the forms. Some of them are automatons, which are really interesting. They have the little figures that ring the bell for the hour. Those are quite wonderful.
I was going to, did you already ask? They work? All of them work? Some of them work?
I don't know. And in fact, the earliest ones didn't necessarily keep time well. Timekeeping only became standardized with the railroad in the 19th century. So to own something like this, I think early on was more a demonstration of your good taste and your wealth. The precision time instruments, probably they still work, although I haven't wound any up lately. So
I have to tell you, the more wealthy you were, the more your time was correct. And that is because you're living on
that's still the truth
their
today,
time, and it still is. I guess you may be right
or
there,
perhaps powerful because it was important that I got here on time.
That is, you did very, very well. All right, this exhibit is how long? It's on now.
It's on view now.
Yeah.
Bring your holiday visitors, please. Come through. We're here Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Sundays, 1 to 5. MWPAI.org. You'll find all the details.
All right. Thanks so much.
No admission.
No admission for this one.
Thank you.
Right. Very nice.